Today I want to get straight to the point. I think Sugess makes the best budget Chinese dress watches in the market right now. Let me elaborate. So, for the ones that don't yet know, Sugess is a Chinese-made watch brand that can be found on AliExpress, with prices usually hanging around the range of $800 to $400, with the exception of some of their tourbillon-laden pieces going up to a maximum of around $1,000. They started off making watches designed very similarly to the likes of an even more well-known Chinese watchmaker known as Sugess, a company that has been making watches since around 1955, the only difference being the price. With the similar designs and in most cases the same movements provided straight from the Sugess factory, Sugess watches are usually significantly cheaper. Perhaps it's due to the fact that Sugess may carry some branding prestige in mainland China, but to that I have no clue. Until this day, Sugess still makes value for money watches that adopt the same Sugess movements that they had always used, just with an additional increase in production and watchmaking quality. This can be seen throughout the whole process, from how the watch is designed to the more grand packaging that they include. And so, today I will be speaking about one of the newest additions to the Sugess watch company, the new Moonphase Master S426. Now, this watch is very obviously inspired by or is an homage to one of Breguet's constituents. It could be the reference 3130 or perhaps the reference 7137. Either way, it shares the same guilloche pattern on the dial and brushed hour marker ring as on most dressy Breguets of our time. The watch shares a similar case to a good chunk of the Moonphase Master line, similar to that of even my first Sugess timepiece that I did a review on way back at the beginning of the channel. This case comes in at a thickness of 12.5mm inclusive of the glass, a diameter of around 40mm and a lug-to-lug of 48.2mm. This allows for the watch to wear slightly smaller and fit both small wrists and larger wrists like mine exceptionally well. The case on the watch also comes with the same exact crown that came with my previous Sugess Moonphase Master. The last time I had a slight complaint with the crown being somewhat sharp, making it slightly irritating to wind, but fortunately the crown feels a bit smoother this time. Either way, the S426 is an automatic, so not much hand winding is required if you wear it on the daily. As we mentioned hand winding, I would love to talk about the addition they made to the dial of the S426. Besides having the 29.5 day fully functional moonphase and date complication on the bottom subdial, this piece now has a functional power reserve indicator. The power reserve indicator, as its name suggests, displays the current remaining amount of power left in the watch. This will be extremely useful, especially if the owner of this watch goes through multiple watches throughout a week. Knowing when to keep it wound will eliminate the need to reset the subdials whenever the watch runs out for a few days. The indicator displays a total of 40 hours of power reserve, though this may vary from movement to movement. The movement in the S426 is actually a Sugess ST2153, which is a modified clone of the Swiss ETA 2824. This provides you some decent accuracy and also an ample amount of power reserve of around 35 hours as claimed on the official Sugess website, though mine lasts slightly longer at around 40 hours. Shielding the ST2153 is an exhibition caseback held down by 6 screws. This exhibition caseback features what I assume to be a sapphire crystal, though I must admit that I can't confirm that due to Sugess using acrylic as a caseback material in the past. The documentation on the official website and AliExpress doesn't seem to specify either. Besides the mystery glass, the caseback has some etching around its circumference featuring the Sugess logo, some rough specifications and the claim of 50 meters of water resistance. The black alligator leather strap, of which Sugess claims is made of genuine leather on the official website, looks pretty similar to the strap found on my first Sugess Moonphase Master, which at the time came with two, a brown and a black one. Despite it being from a Chinese brand, it definitely feels of higher quality than some other brands around the same price range, and even when compared to the strap I received many months ago with my first timepiece from this brand. Right out of the box, the strap is just very slightly stiff, which is pretty normal for cheaper alligator leather straps and is nothing really to be bothered about, since after a day of wear, the strap more or less conforms to the shape of my wrist, making it quite comfortable to wear the watch about. Now, clearly one of the biggest standout features of this watch is the dial. The silver guilloche dial that Sugess has crafted and situated on this Moonphase Master is perhaps one of the most well executed Breguet Homage guilloche dials I have seen to come from the land of the Breguet Homage makers. The dial is visibly thicker and consists of a multitude of guilloche patterns from what seems to be a standard stamped guilloche panel, which forms the central base of the dial, a wavy pattern laced beneath the power reserve hand, which actually reflects light as if it were machined with a rose engine, and a circular flower-like shape at the 6 o'clock subdial, which determines the date. All this is complemented by a series of circular brushed sections where dial markers are printed and marker pips are placed, just like on Breguet's timepieces. Not only that, but the dial also includes a moonphase window cut near the 2 o'clock position, with a beautiful mirror polished moon situated on the dark blue disc inside, and a raised, printed logo at 3 o'clock that makes the dial stand out even further. This logo positioning also does not exist on Breguet's timepieces. Besides the dial, one of the more major positives I would like to point out is the use of actually heat blued hands on this piece, which is just genuinely unseen on most of the other similarly priced Breguet homages on the market as of now. This also displays the effort that Sugess had put in to make the watch, really showing that they are genuinely a watchmaker instead of a company that just sells watches. The movement in this piece is the Seagull ST2153, not a very common movement mind you, but that's exactly what makes it so special. The ST2153 is a heavily modified version of the ST2130, which in turn is a clone of the famous ETA 2824, one of the most abundant Swiss movements and movement designs in the world, with hundreds of variations, from the Tissot Powermatic 80 to Tech Heuer's L888 caliber. The Chinese clone doesn't fall too far behind in terms of quality, since they've been making these clone calibers for years and with similar, or if not the same equipment as their Swiss counterparts. In my watch collecting journey, I've had a variety of Chinese cloned ETA 2824s of multiple different grades, this being due to the fact that multiple Chinese movement manufacturers have taken up a clone ETA as one of their own, with Seagull's ST2130 being the best and most beautifully decorated one I have seen so far. The ST2153 in the Moonphase Master gives a nod to the 2824 in terms of its decoration, having a sort of Côte de Genève finishing on the rotor and a considerable amount of perlage on the bridges and plates of the movement. The movement also features really well finished moving parts, such as the reversing gears that can be seen through the display caseback of the S426. Besides all the decoration and finishing top that the movement garners, I feel it's really important to make note about what's different between the ST2153 and the regular ST2130. The ST2153 is modified to include multiple new functions at the front end, that being the new power reserve and true moonphase features of the watch. Yes, you heard that right. The ST2153 features a fully functioning true 29.5-day moonphase in combination with the already impressive other features that it has. The moonphase functions around the same time as the date does, flicking to the day after around 12 AM at night. The moonphase window can be set with the hidden pusher at the top right of the case, and the date can be set by the pusher at the bottom. Besides all that, the movement has a beat rate of 28,800 beat per hour, and the one that came with my watch boasts an accuracy of less than 10 seconds a day, and also a power reserve of slightly less or around that of 40 hours, which matches perfectly with the power reserve on the dial. This brilliant package of a watch comes in at just under $200 on the Sugess official store on AliExpress, and is in my opinion currently the best Breguet homage under $1,000 in the whole market as of yet, link in the description. The amazing value you get from this piece, just like most other pieces offered by this brand, is truly unbeatable, and I have yet to see another brand offer such a large and diverse selection of quality dress pieces at such a relatively low price. The only other brand I can think of is Escapement Time, yet there seems to be a much smaller selection from them as compared to Sugess. So really there isn't much to say. As someone who buys watches with a major emphasis on watchmaking and manufacturing technique, this watch would be ranked quite highly in my own terms, and if you looked for this video with the intention of buying this, I think it would be in your best interest to do so. With all that being said, if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been working on some rather interesting projects that are soon to come, and I am very excited to show them off. If you have any ideas that you would like to see brought up to fruition, do let me know in the comments, or if you have any interesting opinions, pop them down there as well. And as always, once again, thank you very much for watching and have a very nice day.